welcome to the Silmarillion Film Project, and most of all, welcome back to me.
That's right.
It's, I feel like it's been a while since people have seen me, and here I am. And tonight was no small miracle. If you'd asked me 12 hours ago, I would have told you there's no chance I'm going to make it. I
Yes.
was lying prone in a death-like state, but so a little bit of hydration and some medicine will do wonders. But
Congratulations on being upright. That's exciting.
thank you. That's my accomplishment for the day. Anyway, I'm Dave Kale. I'm back after an absence, but I'm excited to be joined by the full crew tonight.
That's right.
Corey Olson, the Tolkien professors here, as are Nick and Marie, and we're talking about casting.
That's
It's
right.
always a listener favorite episode where you get to watch us fumble around trying to identify who these actors are.
That's right. I think that it's the ratings are a little bit higher on the Oscars. But I really think this is obviously, it's pretty much the second biggest moment of every year when all of, the Hollywood community is sitting around and wondering, if they're going to get their big break on SilmFilm. Which is, of course, really a thing, as we'll see in just a minute. I mean, we have, in fact, given the big break to at least one person, as we will remember here in just a minute. But quick reminder, we are coming up on our next moot is SoCal Moot. I'm heading out in your direction, Dave. We're going to be in Carlsbad, California, just north of San Diego. And that's going to be in just over a week, March 15th, SoCal Moot. Going to be very cool. And then in a few weeks after that, back down to Houston for Tex Moot on April 5th. And then we're going to be in Denver finally. We've been trying to find a date for Mountain Moot for a while, but Mountain Moot is happening. We're going to be in Denver on May 31st, and I'll be back in Europe, in Leuven, Belgium, for Willamoot on April 26th. So it'll be great to see the Euro people again. And then I am looking forward to that'll be a one-day moot, but it'll be our last, I think, one-day Europe moot. We're going to expand to a multi-day Europe moot starting in the fall. In Wales, so we're working on that. We're going to be in Wales, I think, in the Cardiff area, and for a multi-day moot in the fall, I think early October. So anyway, it's not totally finalized yet, so it's not been this just a little sneak preview there, but anyway, going to be really cool. Oh, Ilana, I'm so glad you're here. I was hoping. Our best wishes go out to Ilana. I've heard, of course, rumors of the typhoon that's hitting Brisbane right around now. So very, very glad that that you could be here tonight. I was thinking of you specially this evening, as I know it's right about when I heard from one of our mutual Brisbane friends about the impending strike of the typhoon there. So yeah. Glad you are safe so far, Ilana. All right. And of course, Mythmoot coming up very soon in June. Very much looking forward to Mythmoot in Leesburg, Virginia, June 19th to 22nd. All right. Let us... all right. Yeah, here we go. Sorry. There we go. Let's move on to the casting extravaganza. So first, we have our frame story. Now, our frame story for season 7, which we haven't really discussed again since we decided on the initial concept, right? The story is going to be the last meeting of the White Council. So we're going to be at the White Council meeting where the Rings of Power are being discussed, right? The sort of the famous final meeting of the White Council, which seemed a fun and fitting frame for the season in which we're talking about the Union of Maedhros, and at the heart of which is the big council meeting that Fingon and Maedhros called together. And set in the ruins of Eregion. And so the most fun thing is that both the frame and the central meeting are taking place, in fact, in exactly the same spot. Or, no, not exactly the same spot, but in parallel spots, basically. We wanted to parallel those together, the Tol Sirion and the ruins of Eregion. Anyway, so it's going to be... it's going to be a lot of fun. So, but we have a lot of the people in the frame story who have already been cast, right? So these are the folks who are going to be there and whom we have already cast. We've cast Gandalf, Glorfindel, Círdan, Galadriel, Elrond, and Celeborn. I had forgotten most of these. I had forgotten. When did we cast Gary Oldman as Gandalf? I thought we had. Didn't we talk about somebody else for Gandalf ages and ages ago?
So we had a frame where Gandalf featured pretty strongly. So that was both the season 4 and season 5 frames. I forget which of those 2 seasons we cast Gandalf in, but it was for one of those.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I think Gary Oldman is excellent casting. I think that'll be great. The Haradrim
4.
frame. Yeah, it was season 4.
He was in season 4 because he was with Bilbo in
Erebor?
around in the Erebor, the greater Erebor area.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
And then season 5 is what is it? Where is
season
is he
5?
In the south?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Haradrim one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Best.
he featured pretty strongly in both of those. He makes a cameo appearance in the season 1 frame, but we didn't cast him at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or rather, we cast the Maya who plays Olerin in that season instead.
That must be what I'm remembering, because I was like, I remember somebody associated with Gandalf, but it wasn't Gary Oldman.
Right.
I
it
see.
was Olerin. We cast the Maiar for Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast during season 1.
Okay,
But but with the assumption that we would recast
that
them
we would
as
recast
Astari.
them as a story. Okay, that's what that helps my confusion, because I was normally I just have like forgotten completely. This time I didn't. It's not that I had remembered Gary Oldman or was surprised that I didn't remember Gary Oldman. What I was surprised by was that I did have a memory of somebody who was definitely, I don't remember who it was, but it definitely wasn't Gary Oldman. So okay, right. The Maiar casting from before makes total sense. Okay, all right, and then we had also the season 7 frame supporting cast, and this of course features the actor to whom we gave his big break, right? Timothée Chalamet, whom we cast as young Aragorn. What was that, like 6 years ago? I mean, it was like, seriously, what had he been in when we cast him? I mean,
Some things, but not as many things as he's been in now.
I mean, like, exactly. Like, and I am sure it would actually be really funny to look back and watch the casting episode from season 3, where undoubtedly I was like, yeah, I'd never heard of this guy.
Who's this
You know,
guy?
whatever. Who's this Timothée Chalamet person? Okay, whatever. I'll go along with it, you know? But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, I hope, all I'm saying is that I hope that Timothée Chalamet is properly grateful, because obviously we, catapulted his career there. And I think that just at the very least, a thank you note wouldn't go amiss, because obviously we played a big role in his career.
But yeah, that would have been season 3.
Season 3, yeah, it was ages ago. I mean, seriously, that was like, what, 20... He was like 21 or something at the time. I mean, like, he was like still college age.
We were
practically
looking for a teenage actor
Yeah.
for that role.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of limited to people who had been in something but were young.
Yeah.
And he had been in something and was young.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So someone, whoever nominated him, had seen him in something and recommended him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that at the time, the rest of us were like, who's that guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. Okay. All right. And okay, so yes, we have Aragorn, Arwen, Elladan, Elrohir, and Halbarad already. I love that Halbarad casting.
Mm.
I mean, that is like the most rangerish looking guy ever, right? I mean, come on. He's an awesome ranger right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Okay. So our first casting, and for the frame, is Saruman. This is a huge deal, right? So, nominees: Hugh Laurie, that's very interesting. Charles Dance, Ken Watanabe. Okay, I don't know him. Jim Carter. Giancarlo Esposito, George Takei, and Timothy Dalton. Huh. Okay.
Ken Watanabe, you've definitely seen him in stuff.
Okay.
He's in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. He's in
Inception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last Samurai. He was in a couple of the Godzilla movies.
Okay.
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean,
refuse to believe you haven't seen Batman Begins, so.
I believe I have. I have, yeah. Yeah. Yes. No, I do believe I have seen that. Yeah. Okay.
Although his role in that movie is very, very small.
So
Charles Dance is interesting. I mean, it's always perilous when you cast somebody who's been who played an iconic character in a different franchise.
Yeah.
But Ian McKellen is the poster boy for that. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it would be the one thing I don't like. Well, so the reason I would not personally lean towards Charles Dance is just because he's already like everyone is going to assume he's a villain the moment he comes onto the stage.
Yeah,
right.
He's already got an iconic bad guy role.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know another thing Ken Watanabe was in. I'm pretty sure he was in Pirates of the Caribbean 2, if memory serves.
Interesting.
I might be mistaken. I might be thinking this.
I haven't seen that yet.
I don't see.
I'm getting around to it. I've seen the first one, but I'm getting around
to seeing a 20-year-old movie. Don't rush. You're fine.
This is like one of these days I'm gonna sit back and I watch all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like, it's how I do it. Like, I just watched like John Wick 1 through 3, 3 weeks ago. So, and I'll eventually get there.
Did you watch number 4?
I haven't watched 4 yet. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta add that one on there.
Yep.
Well, if we don't want people to automatically assume he's a villain, then why not cast James Bond?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting choice.
He can do a very good warm, too. Like a very warm affect.
In my opinion,
it's not what he's known for, but he can. Sorry.
No, that's good. I was going to say, in my opinion, the biggest sort of like dark horse nominee here is George Takei. Like, I would not have. I didn't see that one coming, right?
Yep.
But I think it. But I mean, it could. I mean, certainly he seems so harmless, right? Hugh Laurie could certainly handle it, right? I mean, I wouldn't have thought of him, but I mean, he could certainly handle the role. Yeah, good. Steve points out that Takei was the evil warden in Avatar: The Last Airbender, so he has some bad guy experience. Yeah, no, it could happen. All right, let's see. And the winner is Ken Watanabe. All right.
Feels like an upset.
Yeah, Charles Dance got a bunch of votes, which is not surprising. I have to say my own, like, the one that would have delighted, I'm not saying it would be the best, but the one that would have sort of delighted me most is Jim Carter.
Yeah.
I think he's got the best voice of all the group. I mean,
That's true.
He's got a phenomenal voice, Jim Carter does.
Voice obviously is very significant for this casting.
Yeah.
And depending on what you think a mellifluous voice sounds like.
I mean, honestly, Charles Dance would have. I totally understand the reservations, obviously.
Yeah.
But if he had not been in Game of Thrones, he would have been absolutely amazing as Saruman.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I agree. And, as you mentioned, Dave, with Ian McKellen, like, it's not like an iconic role in Game of Thrones ruins you for everything else. Like, it's okay to cast them in something else, but yeah. Now, Cyclops on Twitch asks a very sensible question, which is, how important is it that they're still alive in 30 years for the Lord of the Rings? We've passed rules in the past saying that we have to cast living actors
at the time that they're cast.
At the time that they're cast. We haven't yet firmly decided what we're going to do with the actors who die of old age between when we cast them and the end of this project.
So there are two main solutions. One is CGI is looking real good these days.
I was about to say generative AI.
Oh my gosh. But the reality is that if you were going to film this series, you would have to film a lot of stuff at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people keep saying, no, that's impossible. No, you'd have to do that. And you'd still have to de-age people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
By the end of it.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind with television versus movies is that the expectation is that people watch the show as it comes out each season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you're allowed to switch castings between seasons.
Yeah.
So you can recast a character for the new season and just introduce them in that first episode of the season and run with it. And I can think of like 3 shows off the top of my head that did that with various actors, not for a death, but for some other reason.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the audience just accepts it. Similarly, whenever you do flashback scenes, if you're using a younger actor to represent a character as a kid, you're going to pick up different kids to play those roles every season it happens in. So even if they're supposed to be playing the same person when they're younger, they just have the role for that season. So I don't think there's a problem with any of this, but if we do lose an actor, as time goes forward, we can decide if we want to recast at that time.
Yeah.
You know, should the need arise, we can discuss it.
Yep.
Can you imagine what the shooting schedule for this would be like? We're shooting all of Ken Watanabe's scenes across 10 different seasons.
Ken.
Well,
right, yeah, fair point.
It depends on how many third age runs we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how often he's included in frames, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also an open question of how many of us survive to talk about the Lord of the Rings in this.
We're doing fine. We're doing fine. We've got another 10 years on the first stage, and after that, it's going to be smooth sailing. So, you know.
Let's get through the next 10 years.
Let's get through the next 10 years first. Yeah, that's good advice.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Yeah, agreed.
I apparently was conflating Chow Yun-Fat and Ken Watanabe in my brain.
Yes.
Which is why I mentioned Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
You were also conflating Pirates 2 and Pirates 3, I think.
Yes, I was.
To be
because
fair,
Chow
Yun-Fat
is in.
Yes, because I'm like, I think it's the different movie and a different actor.
Yes, it is. Well, here's the thing. Because Chow Yun-Fat's makeup in that movie is so dirty, he looks like Ken Watanabe.
So there's your solution. If
there
we lose one actor, we can just sub in another. No one will notice, apparently.
Oh man,
it's all good. Okay, all right. Very interesting casting. I'm interested to see how that goes.
It's different.
It's different. It's different.
I mean, but is it something you're okay with?
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, part of the conversation is you're allowed to be like, nope.
No, so one of the things that I think, I mean, honestly, and this would be hard, but I mean, like, the person who plays Saruman just can't have like a wispy, pathetic voice. Like, that's the absolute requirement, right? And yeah, if the person were like 5'3", that would be challenging also. Not insurmountable, but that would not be awesome.
You had requested that the actor we choose for Saruman be taller than the actor we chose for Gandalf.
Yeah.
But luckily, the actor we chose for Gandalf is 5'9", so it's
which is almost Gandalf's actual height. In fact, it is Gandalf's actual height, isn't it? Pretty close to it. Tolkien said Gandalf was about that 5'9".
Oh, okay.
Right around there. He's a little old man. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly, something like that. Maybe 5'7". He's not tall. Gandalf is not tall.
Right.
So Gary Oldman, just exactly the right height to play Gandalf. Okay.
So arguably, maybe Charles Dance would have come across as too tall.
Potentially. I mean, having a tall, imposing Saruman is no bad thing. Like, that wouldn't be horrible. But I think, because Dance is 6'3".
Yeah,
So he would have
towers over Gandalf.
He would be 6 inches taller than Gandalf, which is maybe a little much. Whereas Ken Watanabe's all right.
Just have Gary stand on a box; it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah. I'm sure he'll love that.
I mean, what's his face? Junior, Iron Man. Why can't I remember his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert
Downey
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah.
Wow. Robert Downey Jr. had to wear heels to stand next to Gwyneth Paltrow, who is quite tall.
Right.
Yep.
I've stood next to her. She's taller than I am, for sure.
Yeah.
I sold her some pencils.
There you go. All right. So that was it for the cast. We just needed Saruman. He was our one
frame character.
One frame character. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't have most of the people that we're casting today for the season proper are humans, right? But we do have a couple elves. All right. So these are guidelines. Typically, actors who are about 6 feet or so. We don't generally want like really, really short elves, but again, can be overcome. All right. So we've got Orodreth and Merrill. Okay. Orodreth and Merrill. These are the ones we've already cast, right? So in order to cast Finduilas, we are putting for reference who the parents are. So we want to make sure that that's gonna work.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to say I've heard of all 4 of the actresses nominated.
You're doing better than me. I have no idea who Emily Rudd is.
I have heard of her, but I don't know her. I know Jewel State, of course. That's the one that's obvious. And I know Emma Corrin. She's the one who played Princess Diana in The Crown.
Yep.
So, obviously, I've seen The Crown. Well, if you knew my wife, you knew it would be obvious that I had seen The Crown. But so there we go. That has exposed me to a good deal of a large number of British actors. Okay. I forgot we had cast Daisy Ridley as Meryl. That's fun. And I don't remember Tony Regbo at all.
No, I don't. I have no idea who that is.
Looks great, though. A good Orodreth. I like it. I like his... He has this face that looks like open, honest, kind of innocent. I like it. Okay. All right. Who you got, Dave?
Good question. I don't know. I think I'm partial to Emma Corrin.
You know, I am too. Yeah, let's see who we got. Ooh, Elle Fanning wins. Okay.
All right, that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, I know.
She actually has kind of a similar, at least in this picture where she's smiling. She's got the same sort of vibe as Tony Regbo.
Yeah. I should point out though, if the two of you both vote for the other actress, they are now tied.
That's true.
It's okay. It's okay.
So,
no, it doesn't work that way. We don't get votes, we get vetoes.
Exactly.
So we go along with it unless we have reasons to object.
And want to veto, that is an option.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You know, we don't participate in democracy, only in autocracy. You know,
Okay.
and only in autocracy judiciously employed.
Yes, judiciously employed would be the key detail. there, that's
Judiciously
true.
and arbitrarily.
Yep, arbitrarily granted, but judiciously. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what would I have known Elle Fanning in?
I think she was in Maleficent. I don't know that
Yes.
for sure though.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's
in.
she was also in that thing where she's Catherine the Great, I guess, or something.
Yes.
She's
Yes,
it's kind
I've
of a
seen
comedic
clips of it.
version of Russian history.
Right.
I think it's most likely Corey.
Russian history, famously hilarious.
Yes.
The way it's portrayed in the clips I've seen from that show, yes. So
Oh.
it's not serious, but
Okay.
she is the character. So she's very innocent, I would say.
Right.
that
I think
role.
it's most likely Corey knows her from Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Yeah.
She's in. Is she, I might be wrong about
No,
this.
I'm looking
is
at.
she,
I don't think I know her from anything.
Is she in the film adaptation of Les Miserables? The film adaptation of the musical Les Miserables?
Oh, that's a good question. No, doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Have any of you seen a somewhat obscure sci-fi channel miniseries from 2006 called The Lost Room?
No.
Apparently, she was in that.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, I
so
think-
she's been in a lot of things, but maybe
Right.
not things you've seen.
Possibly,
okay,
maybe best known as Dakota Fanning's younger
Little
sister.
sister. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So is she going to, look right next to her parents? Yeah, I think that will work. So she's gonna be. Of course, we're gonna see Gwindor in a moment, I think, and of course, we will see her pinned to a tree with a spear at some point.
Right.
Can she pull that off?
Can she pull off
A horrible death
a
scene.
horrible death scene? Yeah, she can probably handle it. Okay. All right, good. Now, Gwindor. Ooh. Wow. Okay. All right, I'm 2 for 3 here. Cody Smith McPhee, who was Edmund in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. No?
Skander.
Gander
was-
Keynes.
So you do recognize
I do
Edmund, but
recognize
not
him, but not
Skander.
the name. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Skander.
Sorry,
Keynes.
in this
Yeah,
case, the picture's on the bottom, just because it was long ways.
Gotcha.
I tried to put them in order, but I
so
messed up the slide.
Cody is at the bottom.
Cody's
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Skander is to the left.
Scander's to the
Yeah.
left. Gotcha.
Sorry about
Gotcha.
that.
Okay. I don't know any of their names, but I did recognize his face from The Lion, the
Yes.
Witch, and the Wardrobe. And of course, Andrew Garfield of
Yes.
second Spider-Man Mark II fame.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Okay, I don't know the Cody Smith McPhee at all.
I don't really know him either.
Okay.
Nor I.
What have you done? Oh, he was in some X-Men movies.
Ah.
What?
Who did he play though? Oh, he plays Nightcrawler in the.
Oh, okay.
The are they
Newer.
prequels?
The newer movies
Yes.
The newer
Oh,
movies.
really?
Okay.
that take place earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever
I
you
haven't
call them.
gone around to those either. Okay.
You got a lot of work to do.
I always do. As soon as I catch up, they keep releasing more stuff. So what am I supposed to do?
He's
Okay.
He's very lanky. So
Right.
he's very tall and thin.
Oh, and he was in that weird that Netflix prestige western from 4 years ago, The Power of the Dog.
Whoa. Okay. Didn't see that one either. Huh. Okay.
Apparently, if we get Skander Keynes, we'll have to get him to come out of retirement.
Really?
Yes, he now works and he's now a political advisor and marketer.
As far as I know, the only filming he ever did was Edmund in the Narnia movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So he's available, is what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, now you're asking him to take away time from his job that earns him real money to come and play a
So,
small role.
Acting in SilmFilm Project, it's not about the salary. It's about the endorsement opportunities that come afterwards.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We'll pay him in exposure.
Exactly.
I'm sure that'll go over real big with his wife and kids.
Yeah. No, it's okay. All right. I don't have a strong. I am ready to submit to the will of the people on this one. I definitely don't have strong opinions.
Yes,
here.
me too.
All right, Cody Smith McPhee. Boy, is he skinny. That is very interesting. I agree. David Perlo saying there are no small roles. It's totally true. There are no small roles, only small actors.
And that is one.
This is a significant role.
It's an important
for this
role.
Season.
It's an important role, and it's going to be even more important in the future seasons.
Yeah. So I mean, if the idea is for him to look tormented and starved,
tormented and starved, it looks like this guy can do. Yeah.
Now everything up until this point, however.
Right.
I'll just put padding in his costume, no problem.
He's going to be in armor. We can fill him out perfectly
Put
fine.
him in a muscle suit.
Exactly.
Not bad, but just padded armor. That's all I meant.
Right. Sure. No, exactly. Okay. Yeah. All right. No, tormented is fine. That's good. Excellent. Well, I mean, he won in a landslide, so there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I am content with that. He looks, Noldor-ish. I can see it. Okay. Dwarves. All right, we have...
This is like an embarrassment of options here.
Yeah.
So we have 2 everyman dwarf characters who play a role last season and into this season. And therefore we kind of wanted to pick them as a pair.
Right.
So you get to pick 2 of these guys.
2 of these guys. Okay. And we did say our general guidelines: dwarves of Belegost tend to have dark hair, and dwarves of Nogrod tend to be fairer, either blonde or redheaded. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The broad beams and the firebeards. Okay. All right. So we get 2 choices here. All right. Everyman dwarf. Okay. 2 of the everyman dwarfs of Belegost. My goodness. I'm
inclined to engage in some a little bit of like game theory here, where I actually like a lot of these actors, and I kind of want to save them for a different role.
Oh, I remember this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because yes, Gwindor is not a massive role, but it's a very important one, and will be an important one in multiple seasons. This is truly a bit part, though a modestly recurring bit part, but still a bit part. Maria, how are the names correlated with the pictures here?
Starts in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, if you start at the top, the pictures on the left, I don't know which way to point for left from my screen, but as you go down, that will match them.
Okay.
And then you start on the other side and work your way down to the end of the list. So the last person on the list is the lowest person on the right side of the screen.
On the right side of the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just realized that I both started and ended the list with somebody named Dan.
Pretty good.
That is pretty good. Okay. All right. So,
do you guys know Olafar Dari Olafsson?
He's the one he's the first one on the right hand side.
Okay.
I only discovered him like this year, but he's excellent. He's really good in the 2 things I've seen him in.
Yeah.
Based on the name, not surprisingly, he lives in Iceland.
Right.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah, he is a big guy.
So
That's another thing, is that it would be good for these two guys to be around the same height.
Right, we don't want a huge differentiation. Yeah, that's true. I think my favorite, simply on looks, is Brett Goldstein in the red plaid on the right-hand side in the middle. I really like there's something about his blue eyes kind of
very
set.
soulful look.
Yes,
he's given
and
there.
very like, yeah.
I think that's Jim Howick, actually.
Is that Jim Howick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh, because does it go down like that? Okay,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I see. It zigs.
Sorry.
Okay.
But
Jim Howick. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I agree that when I saw that nominee, I was like, oh, I could picture this guy as a dwarf.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this could work. He is a little on the fairer side.
He is.
So,
but not.
if we don't pick
drastically.
him now, I would definitely want to bring him back for consideration for a dwarf from Nogrod in later seasons.
Right. For that reason, Mark Boone, who I think is the sort of blondish, long-haired, long-bearded dude on the left-hand side, far left, yeah. He seems a little, not Belegosty enough. I think he's.
Yeah.
He does have dark hair. Actually, it's just graying.
Fair enough.
So I should clarify that.
Fair enough.
But if you could see him fitting in with
Yeah.
the other dwarves, then we could save him for later. Like, so those are reasons to not pick. These are probably going to be the last dwarves of Belegost that we're going to cast, though. So any future dwarves for the first age are probably going to be dwarves of Nogrod.
Right, because the whole, we're going to be dealing with Nogrod with the whole Doriath business.
Yes, exactly.
So there are some significant Nogrod roles to be had, actually. Bigger even than the ones that we're casting for right now. So, Zach McGowan. What do I recognize him from?
He's in Vikings, isn't he?
He's in something about pirates. I think it's called
Black Sails. Yeah,
he's in Black Sails. He's also in the 100, which I believe is where that picture is from.
Okay.
I don't recall what else he was in.
Oh, I recognize him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay. Yeah, that's
what else he's in.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Anton Ivanov.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's the Russian bad guy who becomes a robot in season 4.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I recognize him from. Okay. I like him, but he doesn't say dwarf to me. Like I think he's great, but if I were choosing two, I would choose my first choice, Jim Howick, and then I would choose either Paul Reddy in the bottom left. No, wait.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul Reddy in the bottom left, or Dan Fogler in the top left.
Yep.
I like Dan Fogler. He was in Fantastic Beasts, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's fun. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I'm open. Let's see what have we got. Oh, Dan Fogler. Okay. Definitely. Okay. That'll work. Runners up. Okay, so we have to choose a second one. Okay.
It's a running gun battle for second place.
Right. Hang on, looking back at the other picture. Okay. So Daniel Mace, that's this one down here, right?
Bottom right.
Bottom left over here. Yep. Okay. What do you think, Dave? I mean,
Trying to look up how tall these guys are.
yeah.
That's a
Dan
good
Fogler's a
consideration.
pretty little guy.
Right.
So
He might look pretty odd next to Olafur Dari Olafsson.
Yeah.
And Fogler height
Yeah.
5'7".
Yeah.
Okay. How about Daniel Mays?
I don't think he's too tall.
Olafar Dari Olafson's 6'2", so he would be
Yeah. Yes.
7
But
inches taller.
I don't think Daniel Mays is too tall. I forget now what his height is.
Mays height 6'2".
Oh, okay. Never mind. Because we did have all the heights on the nomination.
I'm pretty sure that Mark Boone is not particularly tall.
Yeah, let me double.
He's
check.
5'7". Yeah, that's. Yeah. But there are. I mean, Jim Howick is right there. If somebody wanted to lay down the law.
Well,
and throw off the chains of democracy.
Well,
we're.
I mean, if we want two guys who are the same height, Mark Boone being the same height is helpful.
Yeah.
Paul Reddy, who you pointed out, is only 5'9", so he would be close enough to 5'7" to not be.
And how about Jim Howick? What's his height?
1 moment.
I'm trying to remember where.
5'4".
Where 5'4".
According to whoever nominated him, yes. I didn't look that up.
Wow, that's very not tall for a man.
This is true.
Google says 5'5".
Yeah, so he's probably on the shorter side.
Jim IMDb says 5'4.5".
Yeah,
and believe me, that half an inch matters to some people.
Yes. Well,
all right. So so if we're looking for people who are closer to 5'7", that leaves Mark Benton, Jim Howick, Brett Goldstein is 5'9".
Yeah, he's pretty short.
And then Paul Reddy was 5'9", and Mark Boone was 5'7.5".
5'7.5". Okay.
Oh, but there is actually one of the guys on this list is even shorter. 5'3" is going to be Miltos Yarlamo. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's from Game of Thrones. He's Arya's dancing instructor from Game of Thrones.
Right.
Syrio Farrell.
Yeah.
Yes, he's Syrio Farrell. I can say that name. I can't say his name though.
Okay. Well,
I liked him. His death was one of the first parts of Game of Thrones that made me like, I don't think I'm gonna like this show.
Okay. Well, let's.
What if we decide as our policy we're just going to pick the two shortest guys?
Well, I mean, Dan Fogler clearly won, and I think he'd be great. So if we
like
kind
him,
of build
keep
around
him,
him, which is great, then I mean, any of the folks who are within a few inches of him is fine. The only problem is that the other two candidates were 7 inches taller than he is.
Right. So if you want to eliminate them, that's fine.
Yeah. So let's eliminate them. Mark Boone Jr. is the other second place candidate, and he's about the right height. We didn't love his coloring, but we can make him darker if we needed to. I don't really know him, so I'm not really kind of invested there. But
yeah,
he's also in Batman Begins.
He is. He's in Sons of Anarchy. He's in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen that.
Haven't gotten around to those yet either. Someday I may.
Oh,
It's
he's Harvey Bullock in Batman Begins.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's just go with him. That's the simplest thing, I think, because we've that way we're not utterly hurling democracy aside. So let's go with Dan Fogler and Mark Boone Jr.
There we go.
We can make it work.
Bree, what was the season where the vetoes were just brutal? Was it season 2? Where
it's only brutal if you really liked the person who won the popular vote.
No.
2 or 3. It was 2 or
Yeah.
3.
There were a few where the choices just didn't match what you were looking for.
Yes.
And it's what it is.
Yep.
I promise this is something I don't care enough about to be bitter.
What, the unnamed dwarves of Belegost?
No.
Oh.
The
Oh.
casting of previous seasons.
Oh, the casting of
and
previous
vetoing
seasons.
I say,
it.
trust me, Nick cares about these Everman dwarves.
The Everman dwarves, yeah.
He's very invested in these characters.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Well, now we get this is the big moment for Ilana. We get to the Easterlings, right? Some of her main characters here. So from the episode
we
she's
move
been writing.
on to men.
On to the men. All right.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, right, okay, for the Men of the Empire of Bree, some a Mediterranean appearance. For the people of Bor, they should look different from the people from Ulfang's army, right? So that it's clear that they are a totally separate peoples who are allied with them rather than just sort
of the same.
ethnically related, directly related with them. Okay, so we're thinking something more like Slavic or steppe warrior kind of vibe for the warriors of Bor. All right. So Ibang, the king above kings, the god emperor of Bree. Okay. Oh, I'm doing pretty well here.
You know these guys, do you?
I know several of them. Yes.
Okay, good.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. We would have Oscar Isaac or Pedro Pascal in shockingly minor roles. I think that my favorite here would be David Boreanaz. I think that'd be hilarious. Like that would be, I think, clearly the funniest casting for God Emperor of Bree.
I mean, that's maybe not a reason to go for it, but
He'd be fine. He'd be fine.
Well,
He'd
he's
do
very
fine. I mean,
funny,
and
so
it's
I'm
not.
like, what do you
It's a
mean?
fairly minor role. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know that I would go with. Yeah, just as Cyclops was just saying on Twitch, it's a pretty minor role for Pedro Pascal or Oscar Isaac. I mean, I'm not saying we couldn't get them to agree. I'm just saying that, like,
yes, I certainly understand.
it's not so much for them to do. I don't know Ramon Tikaram or Danny Dyer, I think.
Apparently, Danny Dyer is somehow related to the British royal family.
Whoa.
I don't know how, but that was what was mentioned in the nominee for him. Is, by the way.
Okay, had not heard that. Okay. Nope, I don't know his stuff. So it is no wonder I don't recognize him. Connected to the royal family, don't know him. In The Crown, I would know him. So,
Yeah,
there we go. Okay. Yeah. As Alana says, he only shows up in one episode, which is why. So the reason I think that David Boreanaz would be hilarious here is that I don't love David Boreanaz so much. I want to give him a major role, but having it would feel like a cameo, right? For David Boreanaz to appear, like, a third of the audience would recognize him and be like, "Oh my gosh, look, it's David Boreanaz as the Emperor of Bree." Like, come on, that'd be awesome. But anyway, I'm just saying that'd be fun.
That's what you mean by funny. Okay.
That's what I mean by funny.
Then.
Not comical in the sense that he'd be a comically
was like,
bad casting. No.
Right.
No,
I was
it would be.
Do you not like him for the role?
No, it would be funny.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to have him cast in it. That's all. That's
I
all.
see what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So David Pirtle says he's a direct descendant of Edward III, but then again, I think so am I, and I think almost everyone who has an ancestor from the British Isles is, I think, technically a direct descendant of Edward III. But
I am almost certainly not.
Do you have parents who come from the British Isles or any
I
family?
mean, there is some family that comes from the British
Then
Isles,
you're
but
probably a direct descendant of Edward III. Seriously, like that's kind of the rule. Anyway, yeah, he had too many kids. Is his? I mean, that was a serious problem. But all right, okay, let's see. Ramon Tikaram. Okay, all right. Now, I like the look. I'm sold on the look. Like it's totally fine. What has he done?
seems like he's mostly a voice actor from what I'm
Okay.
seeing. He was in the new Pennyworth series. It's not that new. It's 3 years. It's been over for 3 years now. But,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think the picture I have there is from a stage production he was in.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did the voice of Doctor Strange for Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. I have that game.
I mean, he's done voice acting in games I've played, like
Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition, and yeah, you know. Okay, no, that's a Dragon Age game I didn't play. That other one.
It looks
was in
really
Ju-
familiar.
He was in Jupiter Ascending, which I didn't see.
You didn't
kind
miss
of wanted
much.
to. He was in an episode of Game of Thrones in 2013.
Whoa.
I mean, it seems like he's a working actor.
Yeah.
And so perhaps the most realistic bit of casting we've done on this show.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, no, this could work.
I don't know who nominated him. Let me.
I am glad to see that David Bornaz came in second. So that's good. And as Steve says, Oscar Isaac strikes out again.
Well, yeah.
He keeps
yeah.
getting nominated for really minor roles, I think.
Well, I think he was first nominated for an elf, and then it was decided maybe he wasn't quite
Yeah.
elfy enough.
Yeah.
So now it's been a question of where to find a spot for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was so disappointed when they said when he said that he wasn't going to do another season of Moon Knight.
Oh, he's not?
No,
Okay.
no, sadly.
Okay.
There's one I haven't seen.
He was first. We nominated him for Morgoth in season 1. Oscar Isaac. Wow. So he's been a bridesmaid a lot of times over the course.
That's the thing is, I'm pretty sure he's been nominated
many times.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, the leader of all the Easterlings, Ramon Tikaram. Okay. Ulfang. Here's the big one.
Woo-hoo. William Zabka. And Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Okay, hang on a second. Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, he's Uncle Owen
Yep.
Uh-huh.
from Star Wars episodes 2, 3, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Like, he's someone whose face looked vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place it right away. Okay.
And William Zabka, Johnny of the Karate Kid,
Yeah.
who is actually a phenomenal actor.
He's really good. He was excellent in Cobra Kai.
I mean, yeah.
You watched that one, Corey?
I have watched that one.
That show was like
Insane.
That show was so good in all of the best ways that it could ever have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, shockingly, like, describe it to me and I would have told you it was going to be a complete disaster. But I agree. It was really fun. And William Zabka really carried a bunch of that show.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's be real. Acting circles around Macchio.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
like, that poor man lost his shirt in an acting war there.
Now, so that is obviously the funniest casting for this role.
Yes.
Like, there's no question. And unfortunately, does not have the look at all. Right, like
No.
he would like visually does not make a good Ulfang. But it's a shame because I love everything else about that nomination.
That's fine. We'll just save him and cast him as Faramir later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Dave, you might have done something.
No, I was just thinking. I was just thinking. Like, could you imagine him playing Denethor?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Oh,
he'd
that
do-
would be
Wouldn't that be cool?
phenomenal.
That'd
That would
be
be
cool.
so
Yeah, he'd be good.
All right. What? Sasha
or
Ruiz.
or Theoden, actually.
Sure.
That I'd buy that.
Theoden. Yeah. No, I
7
could see him. I
times.
could see William Zabka doing Theoden. That would
Yeah.
be excellent. Sasha Ruiz. Is there any?
Did you watch Grimm?
No.
No.
That's he's a huge character in that show.
Okay.
He's one of the main characters, and that's where I know him from.
Yep. No, I don't.
He was in. He had a bit part in Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles,
Did he?
and then he was I think he was one of the lead roles in Caprica.
Okay. No.
I think I only watched the first episode of Caprica.
Yeah, I didn't get very far into it.
Okay.
He was a Dama. Really? I know.
So, like, reluctantly, and only because I want to say William Zabka for better, grander, and more appropriate things, I would vote Sasha Ruiz, I think.
Not Nicolas Cage?
It's not that I don't think he could pull it off. 'Cause I think
Sure.
Not that I can think of anything else that I really want to save Nicolas Cage for, necessarily, but I would go with it. Oh my goodness, Sasha Ruiz runs away with it. Wow.
Nicolas Cage for Denethor. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Okay. All right. Look, that's a pretty good picture there that you found, Mary.
Apparently, he played a role where he was a Roman military guy, so I thought
Okay.
I'd use
You
that
go.
photo for this one.
Yeah, no, he's so intimidating and so like and of course the main role in the show Grimm is played by a guy who's probably like 5'9",
Mhm.
and he just towers over him, and he plays a police captain who is also secretly a monster,
Okay.
like a fairy tale monster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Love it. I think that's excellent. It's excellent casting.
I think this one was the one I was most excited about it when I saw it. I was like, yes, that's the one.
Good.
That's the one. That's right there. It's not quite The Rock as Tulkas, but you know.
No, and nothing's gonna be The Rock as Tulkas, but or Rogrim, my second favorite casting.
Oh yeah. I've been watching. I've been catching up on the catching up. I've been rewatching season 2 of The Punisher.
The Punisher, yeah.
In preparation for his return in Daredevil Born Again.
Okay. Cool. Uldor.
Right. So now that we have Ulfang, we know who his father is.
Andrew Scott is Uldor. Oh, Andrew Scott is wasted as Uldor. I would have to say, like, it's.
And you'd know immediately.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think I know either of the other two. Is Alex Wolff the one on the right?
No, Alex Wolff's on the bottom.
On the bottom. Okay.
The guy on the right, you would not recognize him because the only role that he's had There's a reason he's holding his hand up like that, and he's standing in front of a sign that says Wednesday Addams.
Oh yeah. Thank you, thing.
Okay.
So apparently he's a Romanian magician.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's pretty interesting.
But he has an IMDb page, you see.
He has an IMDb page.
Yeah, Steve, I would say that Andrew Scott's a bit out of the age range. I mean, he was out of the age range when he was playing Moriarty on Sherlock. He's not the age to be playing a young kid who's kind of pushing the envelope with his dad.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I'm just checking to see if I know anything Alex Wolff was in, and I don't think so.
Nope, I don't recognize him either.
Oh, he was in Oppenheimer, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Luis Alvarez in Oppenheimer, but
I finally got around to watching that pretty recently, but I don't recognize him from that.
he was in the Jumanji sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the sequel of the Jumanji. He was in both of the Jumanji movies, the new ones.
Mm-hmm. Which works for the not quite cut out to be a warrior
Right.
type
Right.
of.
Yeah, well, I
acting.
think I mean, again, Victor Dorobantu is a bit of a dark horse on this.
This is fair.
Andrew Scott, I love Andrew Scott, but I couldn't see him in this role exactly.
Yeah. So both the other two guys are 27 years old.
Right.
So more
More age appropriate.
And of the two of them, Alex Wolff looks younger.
Mm.
Like it'd be easier for him to play like early 20s, trying to find his way in his father's army, Uldor. Okay. Oh, what an excellent choice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wholly agree. Wholly agree.
People have spoken.
People have spoken, and they have spoken well. Like it. Okay. Alex Wolff as Uldor the Accursed. Do you break it to him, like, presumably after the casting, that he's called the Accursed, right? Like, that's...
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I can imagine when Glenn Close was approached to play the titular role in Sarah Plain and Tall. That is not a conversation I would have wanted to have.
Who nominated Alexander Ovechkin?
Guess who else has an IMDb page?
Okay. That's that would be a first.
I believe he's been in a few commercials.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. Okay. All right. So this is Boar.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Bautista is kind of a genius nomination for this role. Like that would be kind of something. Tom Davis would be fun. I don't know David Harbour or Nonso Anozie.
David Harbour plays Red Guardian in the Black Widow movie.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, I'm mixing up the names. David Harbour was the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Dave. Right. Yeah. No, I know David Harbour. He's the one from Stranger Things and yeah.
Oh, sorry. Tom Davis is the guy in the bottom left.
Bottom left. Yeah. Sorry.
The pictures are all in an order that makes sense to me.
It's fine. And I as you can tell, I know I recognize people's faces. I don't remember people's names. So I'm going to attach wrong names to pictures all the time because I don't know what their names are mostly.
But that's why we have the pictures on the slide. So
there we go.
Can all have a chance of figuring out who we're talking about.
Exactly. Okay. So Tom Davis, bottom left is, not anything I've seen.
I love David Harbour as Red Guardian. By the way, he's
great.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah,
we've nominated a hockey player.
Yes, Alexander Ovechkin, like a very famous hockey player.
He's very, very good at ice hockey.
I mean, he's one of the like top 10 greatest NHL players of the last generation, basically.
Yeah, he's currently beating all of Wayne Gretzky's records.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the, I don't know.
And he's spent his whole career playing for the Washington Capitals. So
Yes.
he's been on one team the whole
Do we have
time.
any evidence he can act?
Like I said, he was in a couple of commercials.
No, we don't.
So no.
I would definitely not cast Alexander Ovechkin as Boar. Yeah, no. Okay, and I don't think I know Nonzo and Nozier.
He is also in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
He played shoot. What was the name of that character?
Zaro Zoan Doxos.
That's right. One of
Thanks.
one
Steve.
of Daenerys' suitors.
Oh, he's also in The Mandalorian. Gorian
Yeah. Oh
Shard.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Is he in that one episode with Jack Black in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
plays like he's like a member of the court or something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep. And who was the other guy? Oh, that's right. I remember the other guy. Christopher Lloyd was the other one who was in that episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man.
That was a hilarious.
That episode was so weird.
It was a deeply weird
It just
episode.
kept going. It's just like what is happening?
Okay.
So who are you guys feeling?
I mean, I would go. I mean, I don't expect him to win, but I would totally veto Alexander Ovechkin. as unexpected and funny as that nomination is, I don't think I would cast Ovechkin as Boar.
This is fair.
The worst actor for the highest paycheck, I think that we could probably be like the most expensive bad actor we could possibly hire. But now again, here's me assuming perhaps Ovechkin is a brilliant actor and I just don't know it, but still. I mean, I would go with Bautista or Harbor in a heartbeat, and only just possibly. By the way, like, if this were 30 years ago, I would cast Brian Blessed as Boar.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like, yeah.
That's how we intended the character to be.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
who 1980s Brian Blessed could have played.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
it's definitely written for the guy who played the King of the Hawkmen, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, thinking of that kind of persona, I guess all things considered, I would go with David Harbour, would be my number one choice. Yeah, I like Bautista, but I think that David Harbour is more natural.
Well, more Brian Blessed.
Yeah, it could pull off Brian Blessed a little bit better. Let's see, but Bautista, okay, I can take Bautista. I think he can absolutely pull it off. I'm fine with that. We did get at least one or two votes for Alexander Ovechkin.
Just the one.
Just
I
the
think,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's a fine choice. I think that he'd be fun. Okay.
It really it's the last installment of the Guardians franchise that really kind of sold his acting chops for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's good in the other films,
Right.
but he's phenomenal in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
It was the first time he really stood out to me as an actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we have new Edain to cast.
Indeed.
So we're going to start with House of Haleth.
Yes.
And we were saying we've been casting Indian subcontinent people for the House of Haleth.
At least
for the holiday.
in theory, we have been.
In theory.
Well, also at this point, there's been a lot of very conspicuous intermarriage, and so things change. But I believe that pictured here is this Haldad and Haleth.
Yes.
Dad of the Hals and Haleth. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. As far as I know, neither of them have Indian subcontinent ancestry, but that was the intention for that group of people. We can follow the intention.
Yep.
I did scour the internet looking for even slightly imposing Indian female boxers, and like they're every
that sounds like one of those internet searches you might regret.
Yeah. Well, possibly. Yeah, it depends on how you put it.
Right, you have to it's just one of those that you have to phrase carefully. That's all.
Yes.
That's all. Yeah.
And of course I did, because I am of course super careful.
Yeah.
But like every single one of them's a featherweight. And so I did not produce a nominee.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we need Hareth. Okay.
Yes, and so she should be fully House of Haleth.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And she's one of the people who is in the double wedding that produces the mixture with the House of Hador.
Right. How are the you may be surprised to know that I do in fact know one of these four actresses.
Which one do you know?
Top right.
Top right, that is Parminder Nagra.
Parminder Nagra, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes.
Okay, yes. So there, Madhuri Dixit is on the top left, and she's very famous from Bollywood films, especially for dancing in them.
Okay.
So the person under her is Mita Vashisht, I think. And then bottom right is Sonali Kulkarni.
Okay.
And I am not necessarily pronouncing any of those names correctly.
Okay. Good. Yes. Yep.
When you say no, do you mean know of or no?
The act. Well, I mean, I remember her very clearly from her role in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. Because you did say no, and I was like,
no, I don't know her personally.
My brain went back a few steps.
No.
I believe she's from England. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I thought so.
Yeah. Yes, she plays a malicious senator in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, 2 or 3? 3, I think.
I've noticed that in a lot of those films, elected officials are a real drag.
Yes, very often. Okay. Apart from the one that I recognize, which I wouldn't want to bias completely just because I happen to have seen her in a role in one show. But I have no strong opinions here. And it looks like things were fairly well divided here. Mita Vashisht, who is the bottom left, right? On the first.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Although that pie chart is very close to quarters.
Right. So
yeah.
It's close enough that if there was any preference to shift in one direction or the other, it seems like
right. It's a 3-way tie for second place here. Yeah.
And very close to the first place. So it's a close one. I assume that different people were looking for different things in Harriet's role. So
it's and I don't have any strong investment in Harriet's role, but she's primarily she's the mom, right? She's the
She's a stateswoman.
she's a stateswoman. Yeah. She needs to be,
She's mostly responding to all the family drama that
Right.
her family is caught up in. So the return of her sons, who she thought were dead after they were gone for years,
right.
and then the death of her husband, her son becoming the new lord of the people and having to get married off, and she has to kind of do the brokering of that situation, right?
Right.
She's hanging out and helping out as grandma when the kids come, and then, with the death of Lilith, I think she's the one who basically tells Hurin that his daughter has died.
So she really is, she's not matriarch in the sense of ruling, really, ever. She's never really in charge. But she is definitely like the sort of family senior statesperson, especially after the death of Galdor, which comes early in the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what we're hoping for, is someone who can bring some kind of like strength and empathy to that role, that kind of role.
A strong presence to be Morwen's mother-in-law.
Right.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Cool. I think it's good. It's good.
Right.
I'm happy to go with it. And Rion's mother-in-law as well. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Handir.
All right. So this would be her nephew.
Yes. Her nephew.
So it's her brother's kid, but his mother is Galdor's sister.
Right. Handir, the child of the other pairing in the double wedding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know any of these people.
If you
yes,
watch
you do.
Cobra Kai, you do know one of them.
Of course, on the left. He's
no on the
bottom. Oh no, right on the bottom.
That
Okay, I recognize him.
Is the main character Miguel from Cobra Kai?
Miguel, the one on the bottom.
Yeah, Sholo.
Yeah, wow. Significantly older than he was in the first season. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
That would be why I didn't recognize him. Yeah.
He was probably pretty close to being an adult even in the first season.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Okay. That's Danny Ramirez.
On the right, yes.
On the right.
On the right, is Danny Ramirez. So
and that he's the new baby Falcon.
Yep. Yeah, he's the new Falcon.
In Marvel.
Right.
Yes. Now that Falcon is Captain America. Hey, Falcon is now Captain America. New
This
guy is now Falcon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody gets promoted.
Right. Right. Okay. Man, Solo Maraduena has been in a lot. Maraduena has been in a lot. Huh. Okay. Josh Houston, I don't think I know.
He does have the advantage of being like half Sri Lankan and half English or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So he is actually a blend of the things we're trying to blend together.
Right.
Well, when I said we kept trying to cast Indian subcontinent, what we actually end up doing is casting Hispanic actors and being like close enough, which is fine. But,
I mean, if Star Trek did it,
Star Trek did it in the 60s.
I know.
And I think they did fine with it. And then new Star Trek came along and said, Khan Noonien Sung, you mean Benedict Cumberbatch, right? It's like,
so sad.
I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I found myself even missing Ricardo Montalban's enormous pecs from Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
Like you do. Okay. Zola Maraduena, I really liked. This is also a pretty small role. The primary feature of Handir is episode 1, right?
Right.
Being sort of disillusioned and modestly petulant in Gondolin, right? Okay, let's see.
We do
Dan
know
Ramirez.
that he can throw a punch, so you know.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, being one of the first, action scenes there. Okay.
That we've ever filmed.
Or that we've ever staged. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, Josh Houston is in Dune.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Dune Prophecy, anyway.
Oh, the show.
The show. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Dan Ramirez. Okay. Solid. I think it's fine.
This looks like he's at Comic-Con getting introduced to the fandom for the first time.
It kind of does. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, House of Bayor. Right. We have Adonel. So the people that we've cast are...
They're not necessarily near their
Okay.
names, but we have Emeldir and Barahir on the top left.
Yeah.
Baron, obviously. We cast Andreth, and then the other two guys are Baragund and Belegund.
Berrigan and Belgund. Okay. Right. Gun. All right. Beldis. Okay.
Who, if you'll note from the family tree, is meant to be Baron's cousin.
Okay. Yeah, Beldis, very minor role. Yeah. And I don't think I've heard of any of these actresses.
Perfect.
Perfect. Hey, Dave, do you know any of these?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. As Ilana says, I don't even think she has lines. Yeah.
She does have a scene. She has at
lines.
least a scene where she's supposed to have lines.
Okay.
Because she's going to be at the council at
Right.
Tulsirian, and her kid is the one who gets hurt.
Yeah.
So she's in a lot of scenes where Morwen or Rian is the main
Right.
character in the scene.
Right. Yeah.
I think
in the
she
summit, yeah.
does have a scene where she's talking to somebody though.
Finduilas, I believe, has a conversation with her at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll have lines. And she's in multiple episodes, which is why she's on this casting list. But admittedly, a minor role, a background role.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
She's Handir's love interest, essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Lisa de Oliveira. Wait a second. I do know her.
she's in Lioness.
Yes, that's not what I know her from, though. What do I know her from? Lock and Key.
Yes.
That's what I know her from. Lock and Key, written by a SilmFilm fan, is one of the writing team for Lock and Key. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you know?
He attended SoCal Moot at Netflix Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just said we have fans.
We totally have fans. Yeah. Absolutely.
People watch this?
Marie, I hate to burst your bubble, but we're currently looking. We got 14 people watching on Twitch, and there are
most of our fans are asynchronous. Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now.
Right now.
Even as of right this moment.
Right this
Yes.
moment. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hi, people who are watching.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. So I've actually seen her perform. So
Okay.
could 100% pull off a largely non-speaking role. Yeah. Good.
There are dozens of us. Somebody said on YouTube.
That's it. Dozens. It's true. Okay. Rian. Okay, so we have her father cast. Okay.
Yes. So that's just to have a reference for how much you want there to be a family resemblance, if any.
Okay, so this is tricky. We have actresses of varying ages here.
Yes.
And Rian truly is a difficult role to cast for this reason, right? Because we first see her when she's very young, right?
Right. So
In a
we're not
previous season.
casting. Yeah. So we're not going to cast a 13-year-old for Rian here. This is whatever the oldest we want her on screen. That's what we're casting, and we would then find somebody young who matches that person to do the younger roles if we needed to.
Okay.
Because she first appears at age like 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In her father's dream before he dies.
Right.
So yeah, like, and I think she speaks to Baron when she's 10. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, we're trying to cast a late teenage Rian, essentially.
Okay.
And all these people can have varying success at passing for late teens.
Right. Right. Okay.
The names start with the bottom left this time and go
around.
Up and around.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at the bottom room, like I don't see Millie Bobby Brown anyway. Oh, there she is.
Right,
Yeah.
up higher. Okay, and God, so I was having one of those moments. I'm pretty good at recognizing people's faces, but I was looking at Georgie Henley and being like, I think I know her, but I'm not sure I do. And I'm like, well, that's why she was Lucy Pevensey when she was like 8.
Yeah, she's no longer 8.
And has grown up. So yes, she looks vaguely familiar, but not at all. Okay. Yep.
She has done acting work since then.
Yes.
X-23 is on this as well. Wolverine's daughter.
Okay. Isabella Merced, do I know her? I'm not sure.
She can sing.
Yeah. No, I don't think I do know her. Based purely on looks.
Mm-hmm.
Purely on looks, I would go with Rachel Zegler or Isabella Merced.
Oh, Isabella Merced was in Madam Web. Did you watch that one, Corey?
I did not.
I didn't.
I did not.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
It's actually surprisingly kind of enjoyable. It's not good.
She also seems to have been in Transformers Last Night, which also I have not kept up with the Transformers movies either. So
Yeah, that one I
Nope. I think I bailed after 2.
Yep.
made it to the third one, I think.
Look at that. Okay, but yeah, what do I know Millie Bobby Brown from?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
She's also Enola
right.
Holmes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yes,
of course.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And her hair is extremely different in that picture. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I wouldn't veto it. I don't love her for that role, but I wouldn't veto it. I think she'd be fine. But as I say, going by looks, Rachel Zegler, Isabella Merced is where I would go.
Yeah, and Rachel Zegler is in West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And apparently it's going to be Snow White.
Oh no. Hope she doesn't regret that choice.
She already does.
Okay. All right. And Bailey Madison. Wow, by a lot.
All right.
Whoa,
I didn't do it.
that came out of
Yes.
nowhere.
We have some fans of Pretty Little Liars voting.
I mean,
I did not see that coming. And nope. I don't know anything she's ever been in. But okay.
Fine.
In this picture, more so than in the other one, I can totally I can see it.
Yeah, I believe she was also nominated for Islanel last season.
Oh yeah, and didn't get that either. But she was the one I wanted for Iwano, isn't she?
Yeah, well, yeah, we had the whole conversation about whether Islanel should look very like sweet and innocent,
Right.
and girl next door and that sort of thing. And anyway, you didn't pick her for that role.
No.
But here she is returning to be like,
here she is
how about
returning
Rian?
to be Rian. Sure. Yeah. No, she's like more cute than beautiful, which I like. I mean, I think like a cute and adorable Rian is excellent. Like you know, like you don't want like Morwen to come on the stage and be like, oh, right? Like that's not the reaction you want there. But Rian, absolutely. Yeah. Like let her be like, let Rian be cute. And Bailey Madison is cute. So that works. Sure. Okay. I think like unconsciously, that's what I was going for when I was anyway, it's fine. It's all good. Now, Morwen, here we go.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Tolkien with his superlatives strikes again.
No pressure. Okay. Sophie Turner, interesting.
Yeah.
And Anya Taylor-Joy, interesting.
Yeah, so now the pictures go counterclockwise on this one.
Yeah.
I think.
Almost, because that's
almost. Wait, did I mess them up?
That's Haley Steinfeld in the bottom right?
Yeah. So they went counterclockwise, and then I jumped to the top again. I don't know. Somehow it made sense at the top.
Right. And it's Phoebe Tonkin on the top right?
Probably.
Okay, so the bottom row, I know.
Yes. Okay.
Because I did watch the Queen's Gambit, so I and Anya Taylor-Joy was also had her cameo in Dune, right?
Yep.
Her cameo is future Aaliyah, so and Haley Steinfeld, of course.
And she was in Furiosa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Phoebe Tonkin. Let's see. I don't think I know her.
And they're all pretty tall. They're all 5'8" or 5'9".
Okay. It's true Morwen should not be short if that could be avoided. Okay, no, I don't know Phoebe Tonkin at all. Emma McKee?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's pronounced. She was in Barbie?
Yes, she played physicist Barbie.
Okay. Right.
Have you seen the show Sex Education?
Nope.
She's Maeve in that, and she's a fairly major character. She plays her very well.
All right.
Oh, okay. Now I recognize her. She also is in Emily. She played Emily Bronte in the Emily Bronte movie.
Well, of course.
That makes
Which
sense.
Obviously I've seen. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
That's within your
That's well
your
within
genre.
That's well within my safe zone. Yeah. Costume drama adapting a 19th century British novel. Yeah, that's pretty strong chances. I've seen that one, especially a Bronte one. Yes. Didn't love the movie, but that was not her fault. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I was not super impressed with the batch of nominations, and I racked my brain to come up with an alternative. I did not think of one in time. So
it's hard. It's hard because
first thing, you need somebody relatively young, and most young actresses don't have the chops to pull off intimidating.
Yeah. So that's the number one reason I would want Haley Steinfeld. I like Haley Steinfeld. She wouldn't be intimidating.
No.
It's like, which one of these is, sort of most likely to be able to like freeze you into immobility with a glare, right? Emma Mackey could do it, I think. Sophie Turner? I'm not loving Sophie Turner.
That's clearly what they're going for her in parts of later Game of Thrones, but I don't.
Unsuccessfully.
Yeah, I'm not sure they
I don't
achieved
think she
it.
was able to. I mean, I think we've literally had evidence that she can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, she was great in the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones. But yeah, she seemed to fit the role worse as the show went on.
As her character grew.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is to say, because she played, like, again, she was a good young Sansa. She was not really a great mature Sansa. Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy.
She tends to go for roles that are more serious, intimidating kind of things. She's not super interested in playing the cutesy love interest.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Yeah.
Couldn't go wrong with her.
Yeah,
I think she has very striking looks. I'm not gonna posit that she's the most beautiful woman to ever live, but I mean,
it's one of those high pressure nominations, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I do think she has very striking looks, and therefore could pull off what we're looking for.
Yeah. I do. Karina was saying she likes the looks. She likes Phoebe Tonkin on looks. I do. I like Phoebe Tonkin's headshot for Morwen. I think she really looks the part of what I would picture. But I think Emma McKay can do that also. She was very good. Yeah, I would Anya Taylor-Joy or Emma Mackey would be my two top choices here, I think. Phoebe Tonkin, I just don't know, so.
Yeah, so those two are both 28 years old, and Phoebe Tonkin is 36.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if that's a consideration.
All right. So let's see. Anya Taylor-Joy. The people have spoken. Okay. People have barely spoken. I mean, the people do not speak with one voice on this subject.
No.
But
I think there's agreement that, like, could we have had other nominees here? Sure. But did people suggest them? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And this was something that was discussed well before nominations opened.
Yeah.
So pretty much the nominees for Morwen were put in right away.
Yeah.
And then no changes were made for a month.
Yeah.
So this is what people came up with.
Yep.
Like, after much discussion, this is what we had.
yeah. And so the one thing that people have spoken clearly about is that they agree about Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, it's
Florence Puig occurred to me about a week and a half too late.
Okay.
As somebody who is both
I don't think I know. At least I don't know the name.
She's
Black Widow.
She's Black Widow's sister.
She's the kid sister.
Oh,
for Black
yeah,
Widow.
no, I like her very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fun. I'm not sure I think of her as Morwen.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would either. Though she can glare. But Yeah, no, I don't think she's good for Morwen, but I like her a lot. No, this is fine. This is good. Again, you're not gonna get perfect casting. Morwen is such a demanding casting choice.
Yes.
Because you not only have the mantle of most beautiful human woman ever, but you also have like the phenomenal strength of character and, her whole trajectory. Like you have to have most beautiful human woman ever and excellent tragic heroine, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, yeah, but this will work. This will be good. Ilana's happy with it. I'm happy with it. So there we go. Like that's, I couldn't ask for more. Okay, good. Okay, House of Hador. Now here we go. So that's Hador here.
Yep.
So he's literally the only one we've cast.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Show me the blonde guys. Okay, what do we got?
That's what this section is about. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Gillier. All right.
So this is Galdor's nephew. So he's got both parents from House of Hador. So yes, we went a blonde dude for this role.
Blonde dude for this role. Yeah. And which one is the top right? Is that Alexander Ludwig?
Top right is Alexander Ludwig. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
And-
starting to get the hang of predicting your
My God.
your sequencing of names. Okay.
Uh,
I ask because he's the one.
I believe he's in Vikings.
He is in Vikings, which, by the way, I still haven't gotten around to.
I've seen some of it.
I've seen clips.
It's on my list.
I'm trying to convince my wife to watch the 2 Vikings series with me, and then watch the last Kingdom.
I have
because-
watched at least one season of The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, I was really impressed with a lot of it. One of the things that really struck me was the depiction of religion, because like a lot of depictions of super religious people in the Middle Ages depict them as like just either daft or hypocritical.
Right.
And
Right.
the way they depict it, like a lot of like most of the really religious people in The Last Kingdom believe it.
Right.
Like you can tell that Alfred in particular, like 100% believes it and is not an idiot.
Cool.
That was interesting.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I don't know that I know any of these guys.
I do not either.
James Norton. He was in House of the Dragon. No, he will be in House of the Dragon.
Oh, really?
2026. Yes.
Have you been watching House of the Dragon?
I have not yet. That's also on my list, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Me neither.
Ooh. He plays a minor role, so he was in Little Women, which is also in my
Surely you've seen that, yeah.
yeah, that's also in my wheelhouse. Okay. All right. No strong views. I'm going with Alexander Ludwig if I have to guess. Okay. David Stockton. Fine.
Fine.
He has previously played Thor.
Yeah. I believe he's Norwegian. So the production bit where he's Thor is
he can't be Norwegian.
okay, I might be wrong. You can check.
Well, I mean, by the spelling of his name, he looks Swedish.
Maybe he's Swedish and I don't know the difference between the two.
My last name is Norwegian. Ian. Ian is the Norwegian Sen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm probably wrong. But anyway, the show he's in where he plays Thor, it's one of those like kids go to a school and then there's like gods involved. Like it's a magic school setting mythology kind of storyline.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, his character is Thor.
Right.
Wikipedia is pretty sure that he's Norwegian.
Really?
But, you know,
Great.
He's best known for his role as Magnus Fossbakken in the Norwegian teen drama Scam.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a feeling he will not be the last Scandinavian actor we will be casting in the House of Hador. Okay, cool. Galdor.
Yeah, so Galdor also needs to be very much House of Hador.
Yeah, yeah.
So we need a guy who looks vaguely Scandinavian.
Okay, that's Jaime Lannister in the top left, right?
It is indeed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Apart from him, I don't think I know any of these guys.
Travis
I-
Fimmel.
So Fimmel is the guy on the bottom left, and I believe he's there in a Dune thing, and then he's also in Vikings.
Okay.
And then of course there's Jensen Ackles
There
of
is, indeed.
Supernatural fame.
Aha. Right. Which is also Marie's still on my list, but
Yeah, well, that is 15 seasons of show that you don't necessarily need to
that is
watch.
why it has not moved swiftly up my list, but it remains on it.
Wait,
Yeah,
here's what
you're-
we need to do. Marie, you, me, and Professor Olsen, the fan tracks for
Oh, no.
collaboratory of Supernatural.
Supernatural, yeah.
Oh no.
That would be
I think that would be a waste of your time is the problem.
top shelf.
I would enjoy it, but
Yeah.
There's some good episodes in there.
there
There
are
are definitely some good
there are
episodes of that show.
fewer good episodes as the seasons go on.
Yes.
That's
the first
very
five
common.
the first 5 seasons and the
though, are solid.
and the end of season 5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the creator left the show,
And then it
um,
went off the rails.
and they lost people from the writers' room over time until eventually the showrunner was the people who wrote the racist monster truck from the season 1.
Oh God.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Sounds like the writers' room there was like the ship of Theseus.
Well, anyway, the writing quality noticeably goes downhill over time.
Yeah.
But there's still good episodes in there. Even in like the final season, there are good episodes.
Well, they had a nice arc plan for 5 seasons, and then they went
Yes.
on to make 10 more seasons. So
Yes, exactly. And then eventually you kind of run into
I think there might be a reason why the showrunner and some of the better writers left. They were like, I don't have nothing
We're
left
done.
to do here.
yeah, we're done with this. Yeah. And they're like, but we can keep doing this.
Right.
But anyway.
Douglas Henshaw is the guy from Shetland. I saw that.
Rupert Penry Jones. I knew I recognized his name. He was in Spooks.
Okay.
So you do know these people.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it turns out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the main thing we want with Galdor is he's got to be a dad and he's got to die in battle.
Warrior father.
Warrior dad.
Warrior dad. Okay.
It's everything I aspire to be.
You know, I am fine with Jaime Lannister as Galdor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
No problem.
He has like what, 4 episodes total when you include the ones in season 5.
Yeah. It's a pretty minor role, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Huor.
All right. So now we have to get Galdor's kids,
Yes.
Huor and Hurin. And their mom is Harith, who you just cast earlier. So we've now cast both Galdor and Harith.
Yes.
But their pictures aren't on the slide because
That had
I
not
didn't know
been
we were
official.
actually
Yes.
picking them. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I know Ed McVeigh, of course. The guy who plays Prince William in The Crown. So sure.
Ah,
Yeah.
So of course.
Yeah. I like him. He's my initial favorite Connor Swindells was in Barbie.
He's the one on the right.
Okay.
Who did he play? The Ken?
Aaron Dinkins, it says. Okay. He was in a bunch of other things I have not seen.
Not remember any of the names of the characters in that movie. Other
Yeah,
than Barbie.
Barbie and Ken, or the Barbie,
I mean-
various Barbies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Aaron Dinkins, a low-level Mattel employee.
Okay, there you go. There you go. No, and I don't know Rudy Penko at all.
He's in the Outer Banks.
Yeah, have not seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, Ed McVeigh all day long for me for this. I thought he was fun as Prince William. I could see him doing who is a really interesting casting, because on the one hand it feels really, really important, and he plays an important role, but he's definitely a supporting actor all the way through. He's emphatically in the supporting actor role. Okay. Rudy Pankow wins. The people have spoken fairly clearly on that.
I mean, I think it's like 2 votes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But I don't know him. I think he could be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like the look of him in this picture.
he's a supporting role in Outer Banks.
Yeah.
His character is kind of dumb and impetuous, so it's very much not the personality of Hador.
Right.
But I mean, that's how acting works, right? Is you
Right.
hopefully would be different in different roles.
Right, exactly. On account of the whole acting thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You gotta say, he could totally looks like Jamie Lannister's kid, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
The
In this
father-son
picture, for sure.
casting is
That works.
pretty
yeah.
strong.
That's spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Okay. And I agree. Cyclops was saying that casting Jamie Lannister, whose name I don't remember, and I'm
Nikolaj. I think.
Nikolaj. Yeah, casting him as Galdor would throw people off a lot. I agreed, but that's kind of
Speaking
fun.
of, Murray, did you not vote for Jensen Ackles?
No, I didn't nominate Jensen Ackles in that
Oh,
role.
Yeah, I'm just.
That's
surprised.
not my fault. Is all I have to say.
I thought that you, for some reason, I assumed that you had, and so I
No,
voted for
some-
him out of support for you.
Oh, okay. Well, that was
So that
kind
one
of
vote
you.
is me.
Okay. I mean, I would have been fine with him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who I did vote for that role. I don't think it was either of those guys.
Okay, but no, as I say, I let me go back for a second to the previous picture. I can't. Okay. Yeah. No, I think he looks like his face is like slimmer. Ed McVeigh is like a rounder face, and for some reason the sort of Rudy Pankow looks a little slimmer and more like sort of vaguely elvish, kind of like some of the elvish actors that
Yeah.
we've cast. So that kind of works for me.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the other things that I like about him physically. Okay. Yep. I'll take it. Now, Hurin.
All right.
Okay. Hurin can't be tall.
Right.
Okay. Tom Holland is nominated. Okay.
He is short.
He is not tall.
He
Yeah.
is not tall. He is not tall. Okay. Which way do the names go?
We're going counterclockwise this time,
Counterclockwise. Okay.
and then we jump up to the top for the left and go down again. So it's like top left, bottom, top right, bottom right.
Okay, so Daniel Roche is bottom right.
Yes.
Good.
What?
Perfectly,
I'm sorry.
perfectly
That makes
intuitive.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
I I thought it did at the time.
The problem is that you've done this exact thing in a different pattern before.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine.
It's
all
fine.
good. Okay. I thought I might have recognized Taron Egerton, but I don't.
He's in Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So you would, if you'd seen that, you would know him from that.
no.
He's also played Robin Hood and Elton John.
Right.
Yep.
He was in what was the crime movie he was in? Baby Driver.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. I might be thinking of a different movie. Yeah, so we have two legit movie stars on this list.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, they'll totally do this.
Who's the other one?
Tom Holland and Taron Egerton are both. I mean, Tom Holland's obviously.
Oh, Taron Egerton, you mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tom Holland's obviously Spider-Man. Like, he's
Yeah,
obviously
I know who
bigger
Tom
of the
Holland
two.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even-
No. I know you know. That's not what I'm saying.
You also know who Tanner Buchanan is because you've admitted that you've seen Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
And even Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yep. Yeah. He's definitely played in a lot of stuff.
That's who I was just looking up.
Yeah.
He's in Nosferatu, which I have not seen yet.
He's in Quicksilver. He is Quicksilver.
He's Quicksilver in
He
the
was
Marvel
in
stuff.
one Avengers movie and then got
Right, he's in Ultron.
unceremoniously dispatched.
Yes.
And then he had the misfortune of playing a main character in the Sony Spider-Man villains films.
Yes. Craven.
Kraven the Hunter,
Yes.
another cinematic masterpiece.
Yes.
Yeah. I do want to see it at some point, but
Yeah,
I'm not in a rush.
he does have the physicality.
He's a little on the tall side, though, isn't he?
He's 5'8", 5'9".
Okay. Yeah.
That works.
5'11", Google says.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's
Well, how old is he?
Yeah,
Because
you're
sometimes their heights change if they if they're teenagers when they start their career.
Yeah. And, well, he was born in 1990.
So.
And then Daniel Roche is also 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Taron Egerton is 5'10", and Aaron Taylor Johnson is 5'11".
All right.
And Tanner Buchanan is 5'6.5".
Whoa.
Intriguing. Question is, Hurin is so challenging.
Yeah.
Are any of them buff enough?
The issue here is that we want somebody who's in his 20s still.
Right.
And if you want a
That's the
guy
problem.
who's actually
Who's like stacked?
built
Yeah.
looking,
Yeah.
then you're going to want a guy who's closer to 40.
Yes.
And we don't want to cast a guy close to 40
Yes.
to play Hurin. So
Yes.
we wrote ourselves into that corner, essentially. So you have to pick a 20-something guy who's a little bit built.
Right.
And we'll
And
just
just
put some armor on him and go for it.
put him on an all-steak diet for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like a couple, at least 3 of these guys we know can look
Physically
strong, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of them are physically.
well, yeah. I mean, Daniel Roche is a relatively big guy, though. I think.
Yeah. He is. I think he's just
But the problem
unfortunately
is-
a little tall for what we're
Right.
looking
Well,
for.
that's the other problem, is that we're looking for someone who's not tall, because
But
all
is-
the big guys are also tall.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Short, buff, young. That's a tough combination.
Yes.
It's an unusual
So-
call.
With a couple of them, there's pictures on the internet with their shirts off and stuff, and they're not like skinny guys.
They're not
No.
scrawny. Yeah.
So yeah, they're not scrawny. They do have muscles and they do physical scenes. So yes, it's not Helm Hammerhand standing before the gates punching people in the face and they fall down dead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But you were never gonna get a short
Yeah.
20-something guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Who-
Exactly.
Who is that? So, like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you need here.
Mm.
I find something a little bit delightful in the idea of Tom Holland playing this role.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't love it. Like, it doesn't, like, I don't have a powerful positive reaction.
Yeah. It tickles you, but not like.
I think,
yes!
but I think it could be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's as Alana says, it's a big role with a very swinging character arc. It's true. It would have to be somebody who could really handle it. What I like about Tom Holland in the role is that, he has this kind of like bright and cheerful air, right?
Mm.
And I would want that muted a little bit with Hurin. Like, Hurin shouldn't be boyish exactly, right? And yet, I think that a version of Tom Holland could work for Hurin.
Okay.
Taron
So
Egerton
I will say,
is
Taron Egerton was in that prison miniseries Blackbird, and if you find images of him from that, pretty buff.
pretty buff.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can put on the muscle.
You can put on the muscle.
Mhm.
All
And
right.
at one point he was. I don't think he was actually ever seriously under consideration, but he was speculated by the internet to be a potential Wolverine recasting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to correctly cast Wolverine.
Not gonna happen.
Me and everybody under 5'8" is
Right.
is still hoping for that.
Well, didn't they do the little cameo thing in
Yeah. Ha
Deadpool?
ha 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 ha. Yes, I saw that
But-
too.
I mean, Deadpool did that. Here's the full range of Wolverine casting. If
Yes,
you'd like
yes.
to see it.
Well, but it was still Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No, the Deadpool's kind of like, oh, well, there's comic accurate Wolverine. Great.
Right. So, I don't. Just remembering Tanner Buchanan's performance in Cobra Kai, I don't love that casting for Hurin. I think Hurin is too much for him. What was? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember what Aaron Taylor Johnson was in. He was the one I was just looking up. Yeah, right. The one from the King's Men.
No, that's Edgerton.
Isn't it? No.
Kingsman is.
Is Edgerton? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Aaron-
Aaron Taylor Johnson was in the
very,
King's Men too.
Was he?
Is he?
Out. Yeah,
He's Quicksilver in Marvel. That's what I know him
he
from.
plays Archie Reed in the King's Man. Oh, King's
Okay.
Man. That's a different thing.
Oh, a different movie
Oh,
with
that's
a
the-
similar name.
Yes.
That's the prequel,
Yeah.
Kingsman.
King's Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was also in Bullet Train. I do not remember that. And he was in that weird superhero film,
Yeah.
Kick-Ass.
Yes. Him and the other Quicksilver, I think,
Mhm.
Okay.
plays his friend. Yeah.
Right. That's right.
So
Oh, the cavalry.
if we were picking Taron Egerton, then probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see how people voted. Oh, look at that.
Mhm.
Okay. I think it'll work.
Hmm.
I think it'll work. I think it's a fine choice.
Yep.
Good. Good.
Good job, us.
Good job. Yep. Very good. No, I think that's excellent. Imagining Taron Egerton and I'm imagining Hurin and Morwen together there. So,
All right, let me
Yes.
just double check their heights.
Emmy Felicity, not only does Alan Sisto have an IMDb page, but he also has been cast.
he's
in a role
been
in
cast.
SilmFilm.
Yeah, exactly.
He is indeed the voice of Huan.
He's Huan. Yep.
That's right.
However, given that he has only been cast as a voice,
He's still available.
he is still available.
He's eligible.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so the actor we've chosen for Hearn is 5'10", and the actress for Morwen is 5'8".
Yes. Yeah. 5'10", 5'8". So Morwen is she's 5'8"?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's fine. I would not have objected to her being taller than
Right.
he.
Which is why I'm mentioning that right now, if that was important to you.
No, I can live
We
without
can-
it. I can live
Okay.
without it.
Okay, 'cause
But
I don't know that I can find an actress who's taller than 5'8" for the role, but
Right.
we did have a couple actors who were shorter than 5'10" for her.
Yes.
But if you're happy with,
I'm happy with it. I'm happy
Okay.
with it. I
Then
think
good.
I would want to choose her footwear such that they were the same height, basically. Like, that's kind of, I think
yeah, I think she can wear 2-inch heels. It's fine.
that's how I'd play it. Yeah. Yeah. I think having Hurin and Morwen looking at each other eye to eye, like exactly eye to eye would be good, I think. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm happy with that.
We did it.
We did it. There it is. That's our final
That was
casting.
a solid piece of casting.
That's good. We didn't have to exercise a single veto.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, no, it's good. We can okay, so we got Hurin. I'm just looking back now. Hurin, Huor, Galdor, Gallier, Morwen, Rian, Beldis, yeah. Okay. Handir, Hareth, Bor, Uldor. We're not casting Ulfast too minor.
Yeah, it was at the time we made the list, we weren't sure he was going to have speaking roles in multiple
Right.
episodes.
Right.
Realistically, he probably does.
Right.
So he could have been on the list, but
It's fine. It's fine.
part of the problem is when you're doing family members, it's hard to get a bunch of people who look like they're all related.
Yeah.
And have them all happen to be voted in at the same time.
Yeah, so picking one of them and being like, no, this is who we want, then you could pick an Ulfang to match, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. 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 Sasha Ruiz, this casting is growing on me. I think he'll be a fine Ulfang.
Pull some clips from when you have some, within all your copious spare time.
Yeah.
Pull some clips from the Grimm show. He's
Okay.
got it.
Ramon Tikaram. Sure. Yep. Our dwarves, right? Okay. Gwindor, our extremely skinny Gwindor. It's already pre-starved so that he barely has to prep for season 8.
And the great news is we still have William Zabka and Nicolas Cage available.
Yeah. You know who we should have cast as Gwindor? This is a missed opportunity. Is the
Who?
guy who played Batman in Batman Begins. What's wrong with my brain?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Why would we want Christian Bale?
Because he went from playing Batman to playing like this scrawny, skinny. Like, wasn't he a meth head in that movie? Physically, didn't no effects, no nothing, just him not eating
Right.
for
Yeah,
months.
he's willing to do the work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we would want someone who is sufficiently committed to the Gwindor concept, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, would you mind for this minor role in for this extremely minor role in a season and a half of television, and then a slightly less minor role in another season?
I was going to say Gwindor's not that minor, but in this season he certainly is.
Yeah. And you know, in a couple of seasons prior, he is like a walk-on role.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Excellent. Strong work. Strong work. That was fun. So we are moving ahead. We're going to be discussing episode 12.
Yay!
All right.
Into hard at work on it.
Into the heart of the battle, we're going to be getting the betrayal. Right. This is going to have some
This is
some
the Eastern
patricide and
Yes.
some yeah.
Just a little bit of patricide.
Just a touch of patricide, and there will be stabbings in the back and betrayals in episode 12. Okay.
Stabbings from the back. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Excellent. All right. Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And the plan is Thursday, March 27th for that. Yeah.
Is that what I put on that slide? Hopefully.
That's what you put on that
That
slide.
is what you
Oh,
put.
good.
March 27th. Yes. Yes. Yep. And I'm just like looking at my own calendar. I'm like, that works, right? And that totally works.
Yeah, I thought you said you did that week. That
does.
week would be good for you.
It does. That'll be fine.
Good.
That'll be good. Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to episode 12. So we are definitely in the home stretch of SilmFilm season 7 as a whole. Episode 12, are we going to go straight to 13 after that, or do we have some space in between? I guess that depends now, doesn't it?
There's some space.
There's some space. Okay. All
Yes.
right. That's fine.
Yeah, so we do have our final script discussion coming up for the frame story. So we'll work on that. And then if people have any artwork or contributions to set locations or costumes or props or any of that sort of thing, contributing those would be good over the next month or so, as well as we are moving towards the end of the season here.
Are we going to do the frame in between 12 and 13? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. All right. And I'm hearing Alana's mentioning that Phil's already released a piece of season 7 music on his YouTube channel. So you can go to Philip Menzies' YouTube channel and get a preview of what we're going to be talking about in the music episode, which is traditionally the end of the season, giving Phil as much possible time as he can get to compose stuff. So cool. Awesome. Very good. Well, thanks everybody. That was a lot of fun, and we will be back for episode 12 next time in 3 weeks on the 27th of March. Very good, everybody. Thanks. I will say, as always, thanks for listening, and Godspeed.